Hey, what's going on, guys? Xbox All In channel, host Sega Forever. Real quick video. Kind of wanted to get my thoughts out there. A lot of people have been talking about the Game Pass price reduction as well as COD no longer being day one. So I kind of wanted to get my thoughts. Again, not a long video, just a little rant. And it's not going to be bad, guys. Okay, spoiler alert, it's not a bad rant. But I do want to get some stuff off my chest. I see a lot of people have been giving the commentary, giving their opinions. I have opinions of my own. And they're my own opinions. Doesn't mean you have to agree with me. Do I think a lot of times if you're Xbox all in like I am, like a lot of you guys who bleed green, um, you guys will understand what I'm trying to say, and even possibly agree with me. Okay, so number one, new sheriff in town. Um, Obviously, with Asha Sharma doing a lot of changes with Xbox. If you notice some of the stuff that she's doing, she's actually going backwards in time, right? So I talked about this. Xbox Redux did a video on my channel talking about this specifically because she is making changes, and it would appear, right? Yeah, getting a little bit more positive on the things that Asha is doing. It appears to be for the very on the positive end of the scale. Very consumer friendly, more importantly, very fan focused, and taking into consideration the Xbox as a brand. Now, there's a lot of stuff that dropped today. I just want to specifically focus on the topic that I have listed um, on the title of this video, because if I start going on that rabbit hole, this video is going to run way longer than it needs to. And again, um, what I'm going to do for the channel, bringing back, I'm going to have some time on weekends, going to bring back the podcast. Join me this Saturday. I'm going to try and hook something up with Ebot. He's really busy, got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to try to make some time because there's a lot of stuff going on with the Xbox community, with gaming in general. Right? And as always, guys, like I'm ranting right now, so I'm going to rant. A lot of people are missing the mark on this stuff, and for good reason. And nothing's really changed. A lot of these people, if I'm being honest, they're just hypocrites. Right? They're always ultra focused on Xbox, Microsoft, what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing. Meanwhile, none of these people hold account PlayStation, Sony, Nintendo, or the Switch too, right? They don't hold these people to the same standard. I don't mention PC, guys, because like I said, sorry about that background noise, guys. Let me close this up. Where I live, it never fails that when I want to do a video, people in my neighborhood got something to do. But nobody holds these other companies and systems to account the way that they do with Xbox. Again, I said this a gazillion times on my channel. When it comes to the gaming industry, when it comes to gaming news, gaming media, everything that encompasses gaming, Microsoft and Xbox sucks all the air out of the room because that's all everybody talks about. Now, granted, you get clicks, right? A lot of these people are disingenuous. A lot of them don't know what they're talking about just for the simple fact they don't own the console or play in the ecosystem. Covered this a multitude of times, but I'm going to keep on saying it until people get it, man. Because I don't see anybody apologizing for some of the really bad takes that they had when it came to Xbox, whether they're leaving the industry, whether they're creating a new console, whether they need AAA studios, they AAA games, all that stuff got blown up, man. Now, granted, I talk about the economy on that channel, but even with that aside, a lot of the stuff that people complain about, they were wrong. But you're never going to see a video with these guys saying that they're wrong. You're never going to see a video with these people apologizing and owning up to their false narratives, right? And again, this is why I rant all the time towards Microsoft, that they need to learn that there's a lot of people out there that don't have their best interests at heart, as far as what the industry is and Microsoft part in it. And what they need to do, man, they need to get a little bit medieval on these people. And I'm not saying Asha is doing that, but it's good to see her take a lot of action. And so this Saturday, we're going to focus more on that directly, okay? When we do the podcast, we'll talk about Asha specifically. In fact, I got the title already picked out. Asha Sharma, new sheriff in town. Because she's doing it, man. She's doing the changes. She's making it, right? Now, for the Game Pass drop, or the price drop for Game Pass, totally appreciate it. Think it's cool. But I want to be honest with you guys. This is just I'm just sharing my opinions. I would have liked to have seen her drop it under $20. More specifically, if they could have get it somehow to $17.99. Right. I think that would have been the sweet spot because it's going to kill a lot of the narratives. Because even right now, even though they're saving you at least $7, right, dropping it from $29.99 to $22 whatever, or $21 whatever it is, right? There's people saying, well, That's just them taking it back, and then eventually it's going to grow. It possibly might be that, right? But again, dude, it's just a lot of negative people out there, negative energy. You do something like 17.99, right? And to Asha's credit, that's a lot of the stuff she's doing right now with the brand itself, right? She is taking it back, right? She is leaving no room for error. In this case, I think if they would have went under $20 and specifically the 17.99 price point, I think that would have been a sweet spot for them, where a lot of people would have took notice. Still at $22, man, you are saving money. I don't know if that's going to have the same pull that they want. And then on top of that, they took COD out. I mean, personally, I don't think they should take COD out of Game Pass, right? And for the simple fact that COD now is an Xbox owned entity, so it's a first party title. Hey, what's up, Daniel, brother? Thanks for being here, bro. Just a real quick one, just a quick one today, because I got stuff to do, but I did want to finally get my thoughts out there on the price reduction, as well as Game Pass being removed. Excuse me, Call of Duty being removed from Game Pass. But thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate it. But again, for me personally, dude, I think they should have just left it in there. Because again, dude, it's just like if they take any first party title out, dude, that's gonna leave ripple effect, right? And for me, putting their first parties in there, holding that line is very important. If you have to cut in other places, so be it. Like for me, example, again, for me, and I'm not saying this applies to everybody. I would rather them cut the deal with EA and then take out, the stuff, whatever we have with Ubisoft and Fortnite. That does nothing for me. Right? In fact, if they can still pull that out, if it's going to make Game Pass cheaper for everybody, they should just pull that out. I don't have anything against them being with Game Pass. I happily pay the price that I pay, right? And I said that the $29.99, the market for me, if they went to $30 range, probably have to reconsider the subscription. But at $29.99, that was my level right there. And again, the reason why I didn't have a problem paying that, right? Number one, I bleed green, right? That's first and foremost. Number two, as a consumer and as a fan, they give me everything I want with Game Pass. I don't feel like I'm getting gypped. And then number three, I told you guys, man, I don't mess with any other console, right? I don't do PC, I don't do Sony, and I don't do Nintendo. So everything that I do is wrapped up in the Xbox ecosystem. The only thing that might happen is I may get caught up with something or some other hobby that I'm doing, or I got to pay some bill or something like that. That's the only way that the money flow is misdirected away from Xbox. Or in the case of the last couple months now, I've been busy working, right? Because that took precedence over everything else. But other than that, dude, when it comes to video gaming, dude, it's Xbox all day, all night, all the time, 24/7. I'm Xbox. That's why I didn't have a problem paying $29.99 for the game. So that's why I didn't have a problem paying for $29.99 a month, right, for Game Pass. And then if there's a game that I like, I just go ahead and buy it. Because that's the way my ecosystem works. That's the way I have my finances set up. That's the way I play, right? Again, man, I'm Xbox All In with the Xbox All In channel. Now, with that being said, not everybody puts that same type of value on Xbox, right? Or on consoles even, right? There's people that'll buy like $2,000 sneakers, right? That'll buy like buy the new iPhone. Have no problem doing any of that stuff, right? They'll happily do it, right? And then when it came to when Xbox had a $4.99 console, man, people was all pissed off. For me, dude, it's like know your worth, dude. When I play my Xbox, dude, I happily play it because I use it all the time, and I use it for more than just gaming. I kind of fell off a little bit just for the simple fact. Hold on, dude. Let me put this window. Sorry about that. I know they were gonna cut the grass when I wasn't done this video. But anyway. Sorry about that, guys. Let me get back on it. Hold on. Let me put this up. Okay. And I'm gonna have to make this video even shorter because it's hot. Right. And this is the only time I have to do the video, man. Where I'm sitting right now, doing this video, man, the sun is beaming in right in the window, and I'm feeling it. Right, so I'm 9 minutes up. But at the end of the day, dude, this is what irks me, man, because everybody, the narrative that I heard, like, keep the call. Because of all the guys in the gaming group that I'm a part of, dude, with the exception of T Reaper, shout out to T Reaper. T, I saw your video, great video. Shout out to Unlimited's video, great video. But of all the guys in there, I'm probably the most hardcore guy when it comes to COD. Besides T Reaper. T Reaper absolutely, in that aspect. But I do play a lot of COD, and I like COD, right? But at some point in time, dude, I really want Microsoft to kind of consider this. Is what I want Asha to consider, because there is a narrative out there that COD, they were losing money on COD, right? And one of the reasons why they were losing money on COD, number one, they should have made it exclusive. Shout out to Hebot, he talked about that at nauseum. I mentioned that when they first started doing the purchasing, right? Because you guys remember when the rumblings, and then it was finally announced that Microsoft was going to buy Activision. The first thing that people said, they were blown away, and the reactions were across the board. They couldn't believe it was happening. Right after that, after they recovered from the initial shock, the second thing that they went to is they can't make it exclusive. Not are they going to make it exclusive? Xbox can't make it exclusive because everybody, dude, all these people in gaming media do their PlayStation guys, right? So they could do the one for one, right? Microsoft, if they own COD and they just keep it on the Xbox, they know what that means. And Microsoft should have stuck with that. I don't care what people tell me about the core stuff, what they can and cannot do. There's a lot of stuff Microsoft could have done to work around that, right? But then we had Phil, we had the Kumbaya stuff, whatever, right? So that's point number one, right? This is why they find themselves in the situation that they're in. Because at the end of the day, man, the thing that's pissing me off right now is that even the people that are saying this, even the people at Activision too, right? Looking at the numbers, and dude, you're not Activision anymore. You're Activision, you do Call of Duty, but you're under Xbox now. You're a studio of Xbox. You're not the same Activision. You're not your separate company. Microsoft owns you, right? And if I could bend Asha Sharma's ear, I would tell her directly, look, you need to put the clamp on this stuff, and you need to let these people know, and let the gaming community know, and let your Xbox fans know that we own this. This is our property. I know you guys did the 10-year deal with that stupid thing that you guys did, whatever, right? That puts a bind on you legally. I wouldn't care. I'll just run the gamut. Because this is why you find yourself in the situation you do right now with Game Pass, dude. Right? And taking it out of Game Pass, dude, to me, it's a bad look. Right? Because at the end of the day, yeah, you can sell more copies of it, but what keeps people in Game Pass active? Call of Duty keeping people in Game Pass, that's more important. But because you can get Call of Duty everywhere, instead of forcing people to come over to the Xbox, either playing on Xbox or playing it on PC and then playing it on Game Pass. Right? You guys just gave too many avenues. That's why this is an Xbox thing. Again, Asha Sharma is tearing that stuff down. That's why that stuff's not working, and it never worked. You can sell 100, 200,000 consoles or units of certain games that you send over. Dude, that's not the, what does that mean, dude? It's more better for you to keep the brand pure, right? To focus on your own ecosystem and keep your titles over. And again, some of you guys might not agree with me, but that's the way I feel about it. Don't be putting new stuff over there. Just keep it in the Xbox ecosystem. Work on your game. Work on your properties, right? Nothing's wrong with any of the games that Xbox put out. I've been playing games for a long time, right? Not every game is going to be a banger. Not every game is going to be top notch, right? And that's the way the world is, right? Because the way, especially the way Xbox does stuff, they want people to create things. So when people create things, they're not going to necessarily create the game that you want. But that doesn't mean the game is bad, right? That just means that's a game that you might not like. Now, if there's technical problems, right, incomplete stuff, there's stuff that's technically wrong with the game, or things that they didn't finish. It's sloppy. Like there's stuff that you can tag a game on, right? But I've played all the Xbox titles that have come out, and there's none that is like that. Some I like more than others. Some I wish they would have did things a little bit differently, but that was their choice. That's not my choice. My choice is to whether play a game or not play the game, right? But at the end of the day, dude, not every game is going to knock it out of the park. This is why a lot of times a game will become popular and nobody knows what that game is, right? It just, people play it, it goes viral, and then people end up playing, and it's the best game ever. Right? And there's wonderment in that, dude. It's a good thing. It's like something that you can discover, right? And that's why I think my generation, when we play video games, dude, that's something that we like to do, that we experience. That's why we love gaming. Right? I know it's not like so much. It's so much not like that anymore. Everybody wants to know every single thing. Everybody wants games to be a certain way. Right? And if you do that, dude, you're just not going to get any enjoyment out of gaming. And again, with Microsoft, dude, I know they're a by numbers company, but they got to let that stuff go too. There's nothing wrong with data. There's nothing wrong with analytics. right? But at the end of the day, like our boy said, man, what's his name? Sheamus. Sheamus Blackwell said a long time ago, dude. It's not a gaming entity; it's an entertainment industry. Right? Once we crossed that Rubicon, dude, there was no looking back. And so for me personally, dude, what I hope Asha does is that she needs to clamp down on Call of Duty and let these people know, no, you're our studio now. This whole thing where you guys are Activision, everybody knows who Activision is, right? And I'm not saying to regulate them, to micromanage them, but just to let them know, dude, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're under us. You're the Xbox brand. That's who you should be supporting. And I'm telling you, man, had they done the things that they were supposed to do when they first got off the jump, right? When they first purchased Activision King Blizzard, dude, we wouldn't be in this mess. But because they structured those deals and they did what they did, right? Because and look, at the end of the day, people are like, well, they're gonna get pushed back. Who cares, dude? I would have rolled that dice, dude. And I think they could have been able to pull it off. But at the end of the day, dude, I'm sorry, but what Phil was wanted to be like, it's all it's everything for every gamer. Wherever you want to go, wherever you want to be, you shouldn't things shouldn't be behind the wall. Meanwhile, the competition was doing it and still does it to this day. Right? So that's what they need to do, man. They need to look at COD, right, for Call of Duty Black Ops. Then they released two of those games in one shot, dude. I want them to go back to you do the Black Ops stuff and then you do the Modern Warfare stuff. The Black Ops stuff is the Call of Duty that you can do all the crazy stuff with, right? It's like the crazy taxi, right? You do all the conspiracy storylines, all the stuff. It's actually pretty good, right? You have that title to do all the weird stuff, the cat ears, the the weird stuff that they do, that makes it not feel like COD like it used to be, like the COD I grew up playing, right? So you have that title to do that stuff, whether people come along or whatever, right? But then from what they need to do is they need to do 1 year COD Black Ops and then 1 year COD Modern Warfare. And with the Modern Warfare, dude, they need to read the tea leaves. Or with the Modern Warfare, that should be your battle simulator when it comes to military shooters. That should be a more serious, more down to earth, more gritty version of the first person shooter, like how COD started off as. The thing that made COD so popular, and I can speak on this, right, because I'm not a shooter aficionado, but the reason I was able to get into COD was because it had this streak about it had this. It was the type of game that anybody could play, but it had a competitive level to it, and even though it was something that everybody could play, doesn't mean necessarily that you'd be good at it, or that but at the end of the day, you could just jump in and play a game, right? And it still had the trappings of what a first-person shooter should be. They need to get back to that. I see what Asha's doing with the Xbox brand. I see what she's doing with the games. She's doing all this stuff, dude. I really wish she would look at that with Modern Warfare. Let Modern Warfare be that game. With all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, with all the people paying attention to some of the stuff that this country is doing, geopolitically, right? There's going to be people out there that want a game that reflects that. Now, you don't have to get into the politics of it, dude. You don't have to do the orange man bad, TDS, liberal versus conservative thing. But at the end of the day, dude, if you look at what the United States military was able to pull off going into Venezuela, when it comes to playing that in a video game, I want that. I want that ability. I want to know what that tech is. I want to know what their operations are, right? I want to know what those teams are. Right now, if you have Modern Warfare, man, people should be. You have your groups in there. You put these people in there, man. Don't do the one-off, dude. Represent the U.S. military, dude. Have Rangers in there. Have SEALs in there. There's people Googling stuff right now that didn't know what our different military branches are, what are different divisions within the branches, our special ops community, all that stuff, dude. People are hungry for that kind of stuff now. And that's the problem I have a lot. But not just gaming, movies, comics, all of this kind of stuff, dude. That people right now, popular culture should reflect society right now, right, as it is. Right? And I'm saying you don't have to get into the whole politics of it, but it should reflect what's going on, right? And if you're a combat shooter, if you're a first-person shooter, if you're a combat game, dude, then why don't we have that option? Again, for Black Ops, dude, they go down the conspiracy hole. For Black Ops, dude, I would go to hate the whole alien thing. If you guys don't, I know I'm supposed to do videos on my channel, but I don't have the time. But if you guys get a chance, dude, go see what's happening with our scientists that are working on these top secret programs, that is advanced tech programs. Go go down the rabbit hole of the stuff that we have. The testimonies coming out of different aircrafts. That's why they changed it from. They don't call it UFOs. They call it UAPs. Right? They have to change that designation because all this information is coming up, right, and showing that yes, there's some type of alien technology. We're probably We're probably back filing the technology of what we, because it's so futuristic, and we're looking at this stuff, and this is how we're creating our own better defensive weapons, better stuff. And because it has a lot to do with the Department of Defense, CIA, all that kind of stuff, you could actually incorporate a good story within Black Ops, the Black Ops series that could cover this. I don't know why people don't. Like, what is the people at Activision doing, man? I see some of the stuff they put out there. No, some of the stuff, like some of the movements they're a part of, just going to be honest, dude, you guys need to squash all that. I know Microsoft, you guys know, because every other corporation is finally showing their true colors because they know the DEI stuff was woke, and then they went broke and they lost money. Right? Do the right thing, man. Right? Do the right thing. You don't have to step all over it, like how I do. But what you can do is course correct and give the fans what they want, give the people what they want. Keep all that crap out of there, dude. That's the sad thing, dude. Black Ops would talk about these kind of things, but wasn't so heavy-handed, right? They would give room for the actual gamer to appreciate the game, right? Never make it ultra focused. And then somewhere along the line, they just lost the narrative, dude. They start doing all that pride crap. That's what blows my mind. Some of the games that these guys do, like with Halo, right? And they include this stuff, which makes no sense. It has no place in that. Because it's like, oh, it's about the community, dude. They're a small fraction of the population, number one. Number two, it has nothing to do with the game, dude. Focus on the game. Actually, if you want to make the game successful, that's what you're focusing. Not pro or con, not left wing or right wing. Right? Just make a good, decent game. And if you want to do that with Black Ops, to me, you have to change the script. Because the conspiracy theories that they're doing and stuff like that is pretty cool, but it's running it's running on fumes, in my opinion. Right? And I love Black Ops 6 and 7. Don't get me wrong. I like 6 better than 7, if I'm being honest. 7's okay for me. It's good. Okay. But at the end of the day, dude, shake it up, dude. I mean, they have so much stuff, dude. If you can go on YouTube right now, and there's so many conspiracy theories that you can draw material from, and create something that's unique and fascinating at the same time. If you have the good writers, if you have the people that are willing to do it. But if you don't, man, I'm sorry, dude. You're not just like dropping the band hammer. That's just the reality of it. Every other industry is doing it. This is another thing that ticks me off about what people are saying about Xbox. They only focus on Xbox. Meanwhile, it's just happening in every other company, in every other industry, right? And right now, there's no room for mistakes. There's no room. You could be successful and still lose your company. You could be doing all the right things and still lose your company, right? So let's get with the program on our brands and get it to where they need to be. Because at the end of the day, dude, I don't see any benefit of taking COD out of Game Pass. I really don't. Because you've already let the cat out of the bag, right? You've already opened Pandora's box by putting it in there. If this was going to be an issue, you shouldn't have put it in there at all. Right? Because if people would be able to manage to deal with that more, you still would have got hate. But doing something and then reversing it this way. Anyway, that's my personal opinion, guys. Again, this video is running kind of long. Just wanted to get this off my chest. Just keep it in. Just keep it in, and then focus on keeping people engaged, right, on the monthly subscription, because that's what it's all about. You can sell one COD game, right, for $70, then you get the season passes and stuff like that, whatever. Or you can get people to play COD in Game Pass, and then you're making $30 every month, right? $30 is too much. You're making $22 every month. For me, the sweet spot would be $17.99. And if you can grow that subscription, because that's the problem. The reason why your subscriptions aren't growing is not because you guys are bad, not because you guys don't have the games, right? It's people have adjusted, right? And one of the factors out there that's affecting you guys, and you can't have no control over this, somewhat, is the economy. And until the economy gets better, you're gonna have to find ways. And I know you are. I mean, with Asha, I know she is, right? And it's easy for me to sit behind a monitor and talk about this stuff. I'm just saying. Because at the end of the day, nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. You guys are $1 trillion company. I know you guys stocks are down, but I know that's you still valued one of the most valued company in the U.S. in the world actually. And the stuff you provide is like you guys own the color blue. That's just real talk, and nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. I won't. Dude, if you want to make Game Pass a success, and you want to get the brand back to good, I like what you guys are doing, right? I mean, but go all in to that '90s Xbox 360 or that '90s Xbox OG, then translating into the Xbox 360, and then with the Xbox One even. Don't believe all the haters, dude. Everybody does all-in-one stuff nowadays. right? That's just how people consume their media. They consume their game. They consume all their stuff, right? That's what they do. Right? Don't listen to these fake ponies, or these people that say they're gamers but they're actually ponies. Right? Don't listen to these people. Set your own standard, dude. You guys can do that. You're a big enough company. If it was me, dude, I'd just say lay everybody to waste. That's what I would do. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. Xbox All In channel, host Sega Forever. We out.